No, we love this guy, Paul R. Nelson, Patrice. We started playing negative campaign ads, and the best ones were from Paul R. Nelson about this guy, Ron Kind.
Ron Kind, and what he does, he puts a W, a big W, in front of Ron, and then a G at the back, so it's wrong kind. His name's Ron Kind, but his competition there.
Wait, what's the position and what's the state and what's going on?
This guy, Paul R. Nelson's the Republican. He's a Marine, an ex-Marine.
Running for
Congress.
Don't even know.
He's running for Congress.
You're right, Ed.
Running for Congress in Wisconsin. And he's running against a four-term incumbent, Ron Kind. And Paul R. Nelson's teams put together this little ad where they put and say, he's the wrong kind. Yeah, and it's just all negative stuff, and it's so far beyond any kind of negativity. I mean, they're accusing this guy of all kinds of shenanigans.
Well, we got the classic one. We should play it again.
Yeah, let's
to bring Patrice up to speed. This is the one where we were playing a lot of negative political ads, and they were all good. And then we heard this one, and it was all about Paul R. Nelson from that day forward.
I'm Paul R. Nelson.
Listen to this.
With our servicemen and women facing death every day, what kind of congressman would try to gut military spending? The wrong kind. Ron Kind. That's right. Congressman Ron Kind is repeatedly voted to deprive our troops of the funding they need to fight for us. But Ron Kind has no trouble spending your money. He would just rather spend it on sex. That's right. Instead of spending money on cancer research, Ron Kind voted to spend your money to study the sex lives of Vietnamese prostitutes. Instead of spending money to study heart disease, Ron Kind spent your money to study the masturbation habits of old men. Ron Kind spent your tax dollars to study something called the bisexual, transgendered, and two-spirited Aleutian Eskimos, whoever they are. Ron Kind even spent your tax dollars to pay teenage girls to watch pornographic movies with probes connected to their genitalia. Ron Kind pays for sex, but not for soldiers. If Ron Kind had better priorities, you wouldn't be having to hear this. Ron Kind is out of touch, and soon he'll be out of Congress.
I'm Paul R. Nelson, and I approve of this message.
I'm Paul R. Nelson.
I'm Paul R.
And I approve of this message.
Paul R. He sounds like he has something tied up to somebody's genitalia. I'm sure he has a small child in a closet somewhere locked up.
Is he just the best?
We hated him at first, but now we love him. We don't care what he stands for.
I just love the fact that he is willing to go out on a limb and put out a negative ad campaign like that. Just the worst.
Yeah, well, we got the latest Paul R. Nelson commercial.
Oh, good.
Wow.
And this one's supposedly pretty good.
A new one.
No one has heard this yet.
All right.
We have connections now in the Paul R. Nelson camp.
Yes, we do.
Because even Geraldo played that last ad on his show last night.
He did?
Yeah, it's all about Paul R. Nelson.
How did we pick up on him so early?
I don't know, but everyone's jumping on now.
Wow.
We just lucked out.
Yeah.
I would love to say we're that damn good. We just lucked out.
Like we're like Kreskin.
But we have the brand new ad that no one has yet.
All right.
And we're not even allowed to tell people how we got it.
Okay. I don't mind, as long as we have it.
Here it is, the latest Paul R. Nelson campaign ad.
Dearly beloved, we're gathered here to witness the marriage of this man, Bruce, to this other man, Bubba. If anyone objects to the marriage of Bruce and Bubba, let him speak now or forever hold his peace.
Well, preacher, I object.
Oh, thank God. State your objection, sir.
Well, preacher, it's two dudes.
Well, Ron Kind says anything goes. He says I can marry anything to anything.
Well, preacher, Ron Kind is the wrong kind of guy to get advice from. Hey, today it's two dudes, tomorrow it's two dudes, a lesbian, a pedophile, and a partridge in a pear tree. I think we better stop playing games with holy matrimony and leave things just the way God showed us in the Garden of Eden. Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. Romeo and Juliet, not Romeo and Julio.
I'm Paul R. Nelson, candidate for Congress. I approve of this message, and my committee paid for it. If you support traditional American values, help me keep marriage sacred. Vote yes on the marriage amendment and vote Paul R. Nelson for Congress.
Wow.
Paul R. Nelson.
Did you say Paul R. Nelson?
Oh, does Ron Kind, does he have a...
I said, did you say Paul R. Nelson?
Yes.
I'm Paul R. Nelson.
Paul R. Nelson. has left the building.
How great is that? The mega mix that one of the fans sent in.
Oh, God, that song was stuck in my head all morning. Yeah. I woke up with it in my head. I'm driving to work singing the Paul R. Nelson Funk Soul Brother song.
What do you think of the new ad?
I love it. Wow. They just have gone completely one way. They've gone completely with the mudslinging tactic.
Yeah.
And yeah, I hope it works for him. I don't know. Like, I know what his stance is. It's really hardcore right-wing Republican, which I'm really not into. You know, I'm more.
I'm sorry, what?
I am not into hardcore right-wing Republican politics. I am also not into left-leaning, bedwetting liberal politics. I like taking a little from column A, a little from column B. You make up your own mind.
Can you tell me what's the little from column B? Because column A, we've seen you have Nazi helmets and guns. And you hate all races and creeds and colors. Now, what's the other side that you take a little bit?
You do see a lot of the right on me come out, but
a lot of that comes out on the radio show, so it's actually a good question.
The left, I keep camouflaged a lot. I'm a pretty charitable guy when it comes to things.
You give the white charities. That's charity does not mean
white charities. There are enough black people giving to black charities that I feel I don't have to cough up my hard-earned money. You know what? You know what I give?
Wait a minute.
You know what I give to black charities? It's called my tax dollars.
Somebody on the left side, catch him because he's falling. Right on the left. Hold on, he's leaning left. He don't give me no nigga charities.
It's called my tax dollars. Those are my charity contributions to the black community.
What is the left side?
The left leaning that I have a little bit.
Oh my God!
I'm kind of with you, Patrice. I don't really hear a lot of the left coming out of Anthony.
I'm not one of these staunch supporters of George Bush. I think he's a boob. I think
that's not even that's not even his wife don't even like him no more.
How about gay marriage?
Come on,
gay marriage. I'm fine with that.
Come on,
I could care less.
There you go. Gay marriage.
Gay marriage.
He wants Bruce and Bubba to get
Tony
married.
Duke.
Abortion. I say let women have them whether they want them or not. In some cases, I say let the boyfriend make up their decision.
Oh,
can I interrupt for
you almost ambidextrous?
Can I interrupt?
Dr. Martin to surgery. Doc Martin. Wham! One right in the old bread basket.
Big phony.
Can I jump in here for a second? Al from New York. Al.
Hey, I just gotta know, is that a bit you guys made, or is that a real commercial?
See, that's what's getting so confusing now. People really think we're just making up Paul R. Nelson commercials. That is a real Paul R. Nelson commercial.
The commercials you've heard
that's going to be hitting the airwaves very soon.
Genuine Paul R. Nelson commercials. The song is a remix that somebody did. That didn't come from the Paul R. Nelson camp. No. Although, I think if he wins, they should play that behind him as he's accepting his victory. At the podium.
All right.
Wow. Thank you.
Let's say hi to Steve in Jersey. Steve.
That was the greatest ad ever. Please play it again.
Which one? The Bruce and Bubba one?
Yeah.
Without a doubt. Please play it again.
That is a good one.
All right, we'll play that again. Let's go to Bernie in Boston. Bernie.
Hey,
Bernie.
What's up, guys?
What's up?
Hey, when are you going to have Paul R. Nelson on the show with you guys?
You ready for this? 7 o'clock today.
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock today. We talked to
Paul R. Nelson.
Yeah. Awesome. By the way, the mega mix was done by producer Dan.
Imus.
He would like to mention producer Dan.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, sir.
We're like Imus now, getting politicians on the show.
Yeah, look at us. Look at us.
Paul R. Nelson. We got a congressional candidate from Wisconsin.
People don't understand how messed up this is, because I don't think we agree with a lot of the stuff he's saying.
No.
And we know that Ron Kine isn't obsessed with the masturbation habits of old men. And
we know
we see through all this crap.
Do you have his platform? These guys?
You can't tell from that commercial.
But I'm saying all of his whole platform.
It is so right down the right-wing line. Yeah. I mean, anti-abortion, anti-stem cell research, anti-gay marriage, staunch supporter of Bush and the war in Iraq.
Anti-sex in general.
Really?
He's not
just for procreation.
He's not into sex.
Seems like a very religious guy, very family-oriented guy. He's got the wife, the kids, the whole thing. And he's just using Ron Kind's platform of what he wants. What Ron Kind was doing was trying to get a bill passed that would fund a sex study. That included all these things, like Vietnamese prostitutes because of the spread of AIDS. Like they wanted to see how that worked. The old men taking care of themselves at the old age home is just like the sexuality of older people and what they might need to make their lives a little better as they get older in that way. Just this overall sex study. But he made it sound like in that commercial, like he's pulling out tax dollars going, show me some Vietnamese prostitutes. Here, I got some tax dollars here. All right, hook up that electrode over there to that teen girl and let her rip. You know, it's kind of taken out of context. Oh, yeah.
That is hot, by the way, that is sexy.
And he justified it by saying, you know, if he wasn't doing these things, you wouldn't have to hear it on our commercial.
That's right.
But we're going to tell you anyway because
he knows it makes a good commercial. On the official Paul R. Nelson website, we get a plug. T-shirts. The Paul R. Nelson T-shirts are officially sold out. And then he writes, thanks, Opie and Anthony.
Yeah, I guess a lot of the pests and fans of this show absolutely wanted the Paul R. Nelson T-shirt, so they went to the website and they're wearing them now.
Just the dregs of humanity. Why?
Walking around with a Paul R. Nelson.
Why can't you support?
All right, look,
because
I'm Paul R. Nelson. I'm Paul R. Nelson.
Let's play the spot again.
I guess nobody serious is that funny.
Yeah. Once again, here's the latest Paul R. Nelson commercial. It's entitled Bruce and Bubba. We can't write funnier stuff than this.
No. Great.
Dearly beloved, we're gathered here to witness the marriage of this man, Bruce, to this other man, Bubba. If anyone objects to the marriage of Bruce and Bubba, let him speak now or forever hold his peace.
Well, preacher, I object.
Oh, thank God. State your objection, sir.
Well, preacher, it's two dudes.
Well, Ron Kind says anything goes. He says I can marry anything to anything.
Well, preacher, Ron Kind is the wrong kind of guy to get advice from. Hey, today it's two dudes, tomorrow it's two dudes, a lesbian, a pedophile, and a partridge in a pear tree. I think we better stop playing games with holy matrimony and leave things just the way God showed us in the Garden of Eden. Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve.
That's terrible. I'm sorry.
Not Romeo and Julio.
I'm Paul R. Nelson, candidate for Congress. I approve of this message and my committee paid for it. If you support traditional American values, help me keep marriage sacred. Vote yes on the marriage amendment and vote Paul R. Nelson for Congress.
Vote Paul R. Nelson, people.
Yeah, he'll be on the show in a few minutes here.
Paul R. Nelson.
This segs into something that's been pretty cool. We've been asking the listeners to come up with political ads for members of the Opie and Anthony show.
Yeah.
And there's a couple that came in that are really funny about Anthony.
Yeah, I don't understand it.
And here, listen to this really fast. This is from Joe.
In dieses Amt eintrag, so will ich ausgehen. Ich tat es nicht um Gehalt und nicht um Lohn. Ich tat es deiner selbst wegen.
This is Anthony Cumia, and I approve of this message. I don't think I approved of that. Isn't it simple, short, and sweet?
Maybe before we get fired, we'll explain. To help out the listeners, we all said, I'm Opie, and I approve of this message. We went around the room, and so they could tag their spots.
Actually genius.
I want that translated. I'm not sure I approve of that message.
This is Anthony Cumia, and I approve of this.
I could have just been talking about the trains.
And then this came in from Beth H.
Candidate Anthony Cumia wants you to think he's a regular guy. But is he? Do you shop on Rodeo Drive? Anthony Cumia does. Do you live in a mansion in Long Island?
Wow.
Anthony Cumia does.
Wow.
Do you drive a Shelby Mustang? Well, guess what? Anthony Cumia does. Do you have mind-blowing sex with a girl half your age? That's right, Anthony Cumia does. Candidate Anthony Cumia. What a lucky
This is Anthony Cumia, and I approve of this message.
The tag.
Wow. Wait, is that an anti-you? But she started off saying he wants you to think he's a regular guy.
It sounded so anti until the end.
Yeah, but then he realized, you know what? This isn't a bad thing.
How come they're all about me?
That should have been an Opie. This is Opie. Greg Hughes, and I approve of that message.
I'm kind of happy they left me out of it, man.
But we all threw our tags out there. Jimmy did, everybody, but they're all about me.
They left me out of it. Here's the last one we'll play for now. Anti-Anthony. This is from John in Hartford. This is one of my favorites that came in. Well, that ain't it.
No.
Anthony Cumia.
Hold on.
But that was another one against me.
Jesus.
Who they hate me.
What happened?
No, here it is. I'm not having a good time with these CD players lately.
Before you head to the polls this November, Steve C. would like you to know a few things about his opponent, Anthony Cumia. Did you know that Anthony Cumia doesn't like black people? In fact, he lives in one of the whitest neighborhoods in greater New York City. And though he may be surrounded by Jews, it's a known fact that Anthony Cumia is a Nazi. And during a recent skit on the Opie and Anthony program, Anthony played the part of Senator Mark Foley. Kid toucher? You decide. Steve C. speaks with perfect enunciation and inflection. Steve C. has never had a girlfriend placed in a loony bin. Steve C. cares about the environment. He drives a hybrid, not some flashy Mustang. Steve C. cares about the environment because he lives in the environment. Grr.
Paid for by the World Wildlife Fund. Steve Irwin, treasurer.
Steve C. That was a pro Steve C.
Yeah.
Martini Steve?
Yeah.
All right.
Anti-me.
Anticlimactic. The other ones were a lot better.
Actually, what was good about it was the music in the back. You got to hear it.
Yeah. The ominous music when they talk about me. And then it gets all nice. Yeah.
Right.
Patriotic. But that's what they do in all these spots.
We got to step aside. This show is going to move real fast. We got Paul R. Nelson next. We also have Borat coming in about half hour, I guess.
Nice.
All right. Patrice O'Neill in for Jim Norton. Jim in Atlanta all weekend long. There you go. There's all the info you need. It's the O&A virus spreading across America. It's good to know. Phil Mushnick. Phil Mushnick. Ned Ryerson.
He's sports writer, I guess.
In the New York
Sports
Post.
complainer. He's not even a writer. He just bitches about everything.
You know what? We like to bring the whole country into our discussions. I have no doubt every paper in America has a Phil Mushnick.
This guy's in the sports section. He writes a column, and he does nothing but bitch and complain about people that are working for a living.
Yeah, here's the deal. He writes a sports column, so you would assume right off the bat he's got to be a fan of sports. But you read this column day in and day out, and you realize that maybe he's not into sports anymore, and he should go write about something else.
Yeah.
So today he takes a shot at us.
Yeah, has a little problem with us. Wednesday, he writes, during the Knicks opener, Madison Square Garden Network twice ambushed its audience with that Opie and Anthony radio show ad in which they tell a woman that it's not her dress that makes her look heavy, but her, and then he puts expletive. Really? Her expletive? I'm thinking in my head it's got to be worse than ass.
I would have to go with the F word.
Right. C.
Or maybe the C word.
Something awful, yeah. Other than demonstrating that Opie and Anthony are vulgar, what's the rest of this message? That they're cruel? Brilliant.
The message is very simple. It's tagged and tells you what the message is.
The message, jackass, is the fact that we can't do anything but radio. We're so stupid and single-minded and rude that we couldn't possibly hold down another job except for radio. And we've even had trouble doing that over the course of the years. That's the message, Phil. Sorry we had to explain it to you.
Basically, that commercial shows that in the real world, we just stink.
Yeah, we're horrible. The joke, Phil, is on us. That we can't work, we can't operate as normal human beings in real life. So we have to sit behind these microphones because it's the only place we can really function. See, Phil? God, when you got to explain it to retards. And while these two champs are so hip and happening, should we forget they eagerly threw in with Vince McMahon to host his NBC XFL pregame show, which was not only pure and predictable garbage, but served as the warm-up act for history-making garbage. Well, Phil, yeah. But you know something?
Well, he's always had a problem with Vince McMahon.
Yeah, he hates Vince.
He goes after Vince McMahon all the time.
Hates him.
Not as much lately, but he thinks, that all those wrestling shows don't have a place in our society, don't have a place on TV.
And he was really jumping on them when they were at their peak.
Right.
You know, where a lot of people were watching and entertained by it.
We're embarrassed that we did the XFL because it didn't go anywhere. That's the only reason we're embarrassed.
And let me tell you something. I got no embarrassment for it. Somebody offered it. We took a shot at something. It's not like a Phil Mushnick ever takes any chances. He's the kind of guy that will sit there and die at his desk at the New York Post after 50 years of just bitching about
just a miserable guy
other
that has
people that are taking chances and working and doing things.
Just a miserable guy that has no business writing about sports at this point. He doesn't like it. He hates what sports has become. So move on. Go find another hobby.
Perish the thought he'd take any chances or do anything.
Yeah, go do something new if you're not enjoying what's sports anymore.
We took a shot at it. It was years ago. It bombed.
Actually, I'm not even really that embarrassed. It was NBC. Yeah. It was pretty exciting.
Let me say, it was cool.
Who am I kidding? It was a career highlight for us.
Mushnick.
Phil.
Shark Hunter.
You
can't do much with Mushnick as a lesson.
Yeah. Now, just the name alone, when he shakes your hand and goes, I'm Phil Mushnick, don't you just... You want to go, ugh, and wipe, you want to Purell your hand.
I guarantee you when people work with him, like people that go, hey, Mushy, or, yeah, PM, he hates anything that...
Mush, yo, Mush, what do you got today, Mush? Don't call me Mush, it's Mushnick. Why can't they just call me Nick, not the mush part? You're Mushnick.
So what does a dude like that like? See, that's what I always, like, what is...
We're reading his column and he's just bashing everybody.
He don't like anything.
But what's he enjoy? He has to be
he enjoys
to the yang, you know.
Well, I mean, obviously he got into writing about sports because he enjoys sports, but he enjoys old school sports. He enjoys, underhand free throws. He enjoys the two-hand set shot as far as basketball goes. He enjoys football with leather helmets.
When the Celtics were all white.
Right. Those little shorts.
He enjoys baseball when they were wearing baggy uniforms.
And ran in fast motion around the bases in black and white.
See, there's so many like Phil Mushnick out there in society that can't grow with society. There's music critics that think it ended with the Stones.
But it ain't Phil Mushnick's fault, though.
Well, then move on, though. It's the New York Post fault that they don't get a more hipper columnist to write about today's sports.
That's what I was going to say. It's not. How can you blame Phil Mushnick for being Phil Mushnick?
Look, Phil Mushnick.
Look, no problem. I'm sure bashing it is part of the job, sure. But all I read is him bashing. I don't see an inkling of this guy actually enjoying watching sports. So I say the One Pest should email this guy and ask him if he's retarded because he didn't understand the Opie and Anthony TV commercial. And we're not pissed off that he's trashing us. Trust me. We got print in the New York Post today. He's playing right into our hands.
And it's printed in the Post. You could get a hold of him. It's phil.mushnick at NewYorkNYPost.com. Phil.Mushnick.
Mushnick.
Phil with one L.
At NYPost.com.
Yeah, go ahead. Because you're free to comment on any columnist's column. So go ahead.
Yeah, have fun with Phil.
Have fun with Phil today, guys.
A quick little mission. Have fun with him. Have fun.
I don't want to lose our guest here that we have on the phone. I am so honored.
Yeah. Hey, Anthony, really fast because it might set up the next break.
Yes.
John Alberts from Long Island. I have no idea what this means, so please give me more info. It says, all it says on the instant feedback, that Super Bowl champ died yesterday in a car accident. Some bitch ran a red light, just thought you'd like to know. Punching out John.
What? How about some more info?
Did we lose one of our guys last night?
That Super Bowl champ?
Is that the guy that came in and got stung on the ball bag?
Super Bowl. The mousetraps on the
Are you kidding me?
One of them died?
I'm starting to think that we might have lost the guy that won our Super Bowl competition.
Wow.
Was that the story? Where was he from?
It's maybe that's the story on
the
TV.
Northport story?
I don't know, but that's all John is writing so far, and it just starts in the middle of a sentence. That Super Bowl champ died yesterday in a car accident.
Well, get more info on that, people.
We need more info on that. But without further ado, let's say hi to Paul R. Nelson.
Hey, good morning. Thanks for having me on your show, gentlemen.
Mr. Nelson, it's an honor to speak to you. We've been keeping track of your campaign over the course of the past few weeks. And, it's an honor to talk to you. You've been a lot of controversy. I've seen you on TV a lot about your ads against Wrong Kind.
That's correct, and some of that credit has to go to your show. When you guys picked up our ads and crashed our website, our phone started to ring off the hook. I know for a fact that reporters working for the Washington Post and Tucker Carlson and others at MSNBC listen to the Opie and Anthony show.
Yeah, absolutely. And now, what do you do for a living? You're a real estate agent?
I'm a real estate agent and a hockey dad.
A hockey dad. Now, that's something we're a little confused about. We know what soccer moms are, but what's a hockey dad?
Hockey dad.
He likes to knock his kid's teeth out.
Follow his kid to hockey every night.
Oh, you take your kid to hockey. That's nice. And you come off like a very wholesome guy, a very American, kind of American dream family.
You know what that is.
What is that?
You know what an American dream is to a Negro. You know how we...
Well, Patrice O'Neill is here. He's
that's white people's words for, the R word with two quotes.
Sometimes Patrice gets a little out of hand, Mr. Nelson.
Sorry.
I don't... just don't pay any attention to him.
I just want to know, how do you feel about 300-pound Negroes sleeping with small white women?
He doesn't... You know something? He's laughing. He's laughing. Could we maybe get a few minutes of a Paul R. Nelson interview?
You don't think that's a valid question? What if I wanted to vote for Paul R. Nelson? I'm a big black man. I want to know if he minds if I come to Wisconsin and deflower a couple of delicious blue-eyed devils.
Let's keep it simple. Paul R. Nelson, are you a fan of the Negro?
I'm a fan of all people.
All people. That's what Paul's been about.
How about those Mexicans that are sleeping and peeing in the spinach?
Oh, okay, Paul. What about immigration? What's your stand on immigration and the situation we have with a lot of illegal aliens coming over the border?
Sure. Hey, we've been very clear on our positions in our ads that we're not a very nuanced campaign. We try not to leave a lot of room for ambiguity. I would be against illegal immigration. Of course, Wrong Kind would be one that would want to sponsor amnesty for illegal immigrants. So that's all we're pointing out. And people keep talking about our attack ads. You will note in our ads that we do not go after Mr. Kind for personal financial malfeasance or marital infidelity. We are simply pointing out his voting record. These really are not attack ads. They're really what the campaign is supposed to be about.
Now,
telling the voters the difference between what the two candidates would vote.
I understand that, Mr. Nelson, and believe me, I am a fan, but let me play the devil's advocate here. Do you think that your ads kind of leave it a little vague as to where that money was going, really? It kind of comes off like a Wrong Kind is taking the taxpayers' dollars and going to Vietnam and paying for hookers. It sounds a little worse than it really is, because I think in actuality it was a bill based on a sex study all wrapped up into one. And it kind of sounds like these are separate incidents in your ads.
Right, and but the language in this ad, and that's why we put the NIH grant numbers, the Toomey Amendment number. I mean, we live in the information age. People can go to our website at paularnelson.com, and they can look this stuff up. This is part of the congressional record. The words that we used in the sex studies ad are part of the congressional record. It's actually really, really accurate, and I would certainly challenge.
So you think Ron Kind is obsessed with the masturbation habits of old men?
No, I don't think he's obsessed, but I do think that he knew what he was voting for when he voted to fund that study.
Yeah.
Paul, you mind if I ask you a quick question?
Patrice O'Neill.
Patrice O'Neill here. Black man. Two man to man. You don't think, just man to man, you don't think that hooking up electrodes to a woman's vagina and making her watch porno and see how she reacts to it is a little bit sexy, just as a man. I know you're running for Congress, but just as a dude chilling out with a beer, you don't find that to be hot?
The point that we're making, whether or not we think that may be an interesting debate.
Yeah.
That someone took the time to take an electrode.
All right, be careful, Patrice, because they're dumping out.
To take an electrode. Did they dump out on me already?
Possibly. I just want to help you out. We're teenage girls, porn, and something attached.
And electrodes.
And electrodes. Let's just keep it at that. Everyone can figure it out.
Somebody took the time to do that as a study.
Yeah.
That doesn't get us just a little bit of a whoop. Like you didn't have to wipe your brow a little bit. A little sweat didn't drip down your face. Just a little.
It's
all right, listen, Opie and Anthony, I wanted to issue a public challenge on your radio show to have Mr. Wrong Kind actually come out from underneath his desk where he's curled up in the fetal position, sucking his thumb and asking for his sippy cup of milk and a blanket. I want him to come out from underneath the desk, and I want him to come on the Opie and Anthony show Monday morning, the day before the election.
Right.
And let's have the pests call in, and we'll have a debate on air.
God, you know,
would that be great?
Everything.
Wouldn't that be great? Why won't he face you?
Wrong Kind is scared to death of the things that we've been running, the ads that we've been running in this campaign, because as I mentioned, we have been running ads that accurately depict his votes. And Mr. Kind, his values and his waste of taxpayer dollars are well outside of the realm of the voters here in Washington.
Speaking of which, we got the brand new ad. I don't know how we got it. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. The Bruce and Bubba ad.
I love the Bruce and Bubba ad.
Well, we happen to think it's a moment of brilliance. You know, we have a lot of young people in this country that don't pay attention to politics because they think it's boring. And we put some things together that we think have made budgetary issues a little bit interesting. And now we put an ad together that we believe will make the gay marriage issue a little bit interesting to young people. And I don't think that young people understand how much power they can have in an election. Your listeners, they want to go on our website at paularnelson.com, make a small contribution to our campaign. We are beating the political life out of Wrong Kind with these ads exposing the way he's voting.
So you're not a fan of the fruits?
I'm not a fan of what?
You know, fruity people.
Look, they can do anything that they want. We're not putting any restrictions on people, but you can't tear down our institutions. And the institution of marriage has served mankind pretty well since, as we point out.
I think straight couples have already destroyed that institution. I mean, let's be honest.
That's a fair point. Right?
I mean, what is it? What's the stat up to? Like 60 to 70% of all marriages fail?
That's a fair point, man.
I mean, we've already destroyed it, so.
All right, Opie, you man-loving. Just take.
That was a fair.
You listen to Paul R. Nelson's ad, and you tell me if that sounds.
I say let them suffer like us, right, guys?
You sound like you tell me if that sounds like something you want this country running around with men walking around, men holding hands and being married. That's not me, Mr. Nelson. I agree with your platform.
They would stay doing because men don't want to get married, but they just do it because they didn't get insurance.
Are you for anything like that, like some kind of legal, not a marriage, but some kind of joint partnership between gay gentlemen or women that they can then get benefits and health care together?
Well, listen, fellas, anyone can go to an attorney. You can own property together. You can put together joint agreements where you can visit each other in the hospital. Certainly, people can live however they choose to live in
a legal contract,
legal agreement.
Right?
That's fine, some kind of contract,
but not in the eyes of God.
Well, however, the legal definition of marriage has been a sacred contract between a man and a woman. I just think it would be very destructive to our society to go ahead and do that. And we can look to Western Europe, to Norway and Sweden and the Netherlands, places where they've done this, and it has certainly been destructive.
Paul, what if they're two really hot lesbians, though? You know, not the butchy kind, you know, but like lipstick lesbians.
Not the ones that are shown on the news when they get married. Jesus.
He's laughing.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, isn't that more?
Come on.
I love Paul R. Nelson.
Isn't that more for us? Isn't that more?
Paul, you got to lean a little bit for us. I mean, all right, man on man. All right, let's be honest. We all understand that. But lipstick lesbians, where's your stance on that and them getting married?
we speak gay marriage. We're gender neutral.
He's pretty straightforward with
What's
that
your
one.
stance on lesbians and electrodes?
Well, he's already stated.
How about Vietnamese lesbians with electrodes? With old men watching.
That's something wrong kind wants money going.
That's wrong kind.
To wrong kind. Did you guys just sit in that room when you figured out that you could put a couple of letters at the beginning and end of his name and make it wrong? Did you guys just go, "Oh my God, this is great"?
And as we were sitting at the table discussing this, we realized we had destroyed the man's political future right there and then because.
Wow.
How do the polls look, Paul?
Not looking good for Paul.
Yeah, we haven't taken a poll at this point.
He doesn't want to know.
No, why? What's
Paul? You gotta be honest here. You know it's going to be really, really tough to win this election, right?
No question. Every incumbency is extremely strong.
Yeah.
That's why incumbents, challengers have to come out and they have to make very articulate points, and they have to tell the electorate why it is that you should fire the incumbent. And I think we've been doing a fairly good job of pointing out some of those reasons.
Hey, Paul, I think I can help you out.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got pics. I got some pictures you might want to see.
What, you got wrong kind there?
I might have some pictures.
What do you got? Don't believe him.
Look how excited. You can tell how excited Paul R. Nelson is.
I call him wrong P.
Wrong P.
He's wrong Opie.
What about abortion, sir? Where are we at?
Hey, come on. You guys have listened to the commercial. I'm a pro-life candidate.
Yep.
4 children, 1 on the way. So I'm a big supporter of children.
Yeah, he's you're pretty much right down the line, Republican, conservative.
That's probably a fair statement.
Yeah, fair statement.
How about taking it out from time to time there, Paul? You like Sean Kemp.
Paul, I gotta be honest. I once held hands with a man at a Mets game.
Yeah, I have too. My dad.
Aw, that's sweet.
What?
His dad.
What about him?
He held hands with him.
Oh no, this was just another man.
Who?
That I wasn't related to.
This is something I've never heard of, Paul.
Oh no, I
could see it now. The Paul R. Nelson and Anthony show. I don't want any part of this. Opie holding hands with them.
I told the story on the air. Where are you at with me, Opie, holding another man's hand that I wasn't related to at a Mets game?
Opie, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with you doing anything you want with another man, short of getting married, Opie.
There you go.
It was our own Danny, and I didn't know. I thought I was holding my girlfriend's hand, and they did the old switcheroo, and I walked out of Shea Stadium holding another man's hand. It's a true story.
Paul, just to get to know a little bit more about you aside from politics, what are the things you find funny? Like, where does your sense of humor lie?
I sell real estate, so I work with people. I enjoy laughing. I try and laugh at work. I find everyday life things humorous. I enjoy Bill Cosby's humor. I enjoy Jeff Foxworthy. You might be a redneck.
Oh, well, it's it's the Midwest.
You're losing us, Paul. You're losing us.
He's a Midwest guy. Midwest guy.
You might be a politician,
Can I buy a house in Wisconsin?
Yeah, what's the real estate market looking like in Wisconsin?
Real estate market in Wisconsin's a little slow right now.
Yeah, everything, right? That damn bubble burst right after I bought.
It ain't slow for you, Anthony.
Yeah.
So when you lose the election, you're going back to real estate, or?
When I lose the election,
Opie,
I'm not planning to lose the election.
He's not planning on losing it. and I want to know, I am throwing my hat in the Paul R. Nelson ring, and I want everybody else that's listening right now in Wisconsin to vote for Paul R. Nelson.
Whoa. Why?
Because I like this guy.
That's it? That's all it takes?
I like his gusto. He's got gusto. We might not agree, Paul, on all of the issues, because it's very hard for everybody to agree on every issue that a politician has. But I kind of like this guy. He's got spunk.
The fact that he doesn't like Italians doesn't mean anything to you.
I don't know about Italian. We don't discuss things like that. And I don't think Paul R. Nelson has.
He doesn't.
He judges people as people, not as colors or
immigrants.
You got. Excuse me?
Italians are illegal immigrants.
My family came here so long ago.
You snuck here, and you probably named after a town where your great-great-grandfather grew up, Cumiaville, and you came here and you destroyed our lives with your mobsters and your spaghetti sauce. I want you out.
I want to know how you'd live in buildings with bricks stacked up with no cement holding them together, my friend, if it wasn't for my relatives. So you quiet down, Patrice.
Paul, I'm still on the fence. I'm not sure if I want to vote for you.
I don't know.
I got another. I'm being honest. I got another scenario for you.
All right, let me tip you over here.
All right.
Here's what the main qualification of a candidate should be to the American people.
All right.
That is that the American people know unequivocally where the candidates stand on the issues. You may not agree with Paul R. Nelson, but you will always know where Paul R. Nelson stands on the issues. That should be the primary qualification for any candidate running for public office. And I submit to you that most candidates do their hardest job of trying to obfuscate the issues and confuse the American people as to where they stand.
All right, I got one more scenario, and how you answer this question will decide if I vote for you, okay?
Oh, boy.
Let's just say there's a guy from Long Island who went to college in Geneseo at a state school, and he was very lonely. He was 400 miles away from home, and he wanted to join a fraternity to get some friends and a social life.
Mm-hmm.
And let's just say this fraternity made him drop his drawers and pick up marshmallows. And then maybe waddle across the floor and drop the marshmallows on something that represented maybe another fraternity that they hated.
And he wasn't using his hands at the time.
And he wasn't using his hands.
Right. Well,
where do you stand on that?
As long as he's not marrying the marshmallows, I'm okay with that.
Okay, see?
I vote for Paul R. Nelson.
Paul R. Nelson. And Paul, if we may, this is a very good question that Patrice brought up. What does the R stand for?
Raymond.
Paul Raymond Nelson.
Hey, Paul, did you hear our mega mix yet?
I have not. Oh, you know what? We have heard your mega mix. And, I wanted to thank you guys for that. We noticed in our campaign office, by the way, we've listened to almost every show where you've been talking about us, and my campaign staff laughs until they cry.
Oh, good.
Yeah, we're really funny.
They've become big fans. But I've noticed
yes.
over the days that you have become more of a fan as you've explored our issues.
Actually, we started by hating you because of the negative ads, but then we're like, man, there's a sense of humor in these ads, and then you completely turn us around, and and I don't even know if we agree on anything.
Not there, like I said, there are a few issues I agree with, a few I don't agree with, but you do, like he said, you do know what he stands for. And I don't know what this wrong kind is all about, except he's kind of hiding.
All right.
That's what I see.
He is absolutely hiding. I think your pests need to get him out from underneath his desk and motivate him to pick up the telephone and call the Opie and Anthony show, and so that we can have a debate on air on the Opie and Anthony.
All right.
Paul, any problem with somebody maybe collecting World War II memorabilia? Because I do that.
Oh, not a problem. I sold a house recently for a fella that had his whole house full of World War II memorabilia.
See, thank you.
Can we be specific here and say Nazi?
No, it's from all sides. I have a British Enfield rifle.
Time out.
That gun control, Paul.
Conservative Republican. I'm all for guns.
All right. I love this guy. See?
How about black men with guns?
Illegally.
All about guns.
If they're legally obtained.
How about nines, nigga?
Yeah, we gotta go. Paul, thank you so much for checking in with us, and good luck on the election. And pests, help out Paul R. Nelson.
Paul R.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you.
All right.
There he goes.
Peace out.
Paul R. Nelson, everybody.
This is Paul R. Nelson, and you're listening to the Opie and Anthony Show.
All right.
That's Paul R. Nelson. I can't believe you talked to him.
He's like a celebrity to
I love Paul R. Nelson.
He's just a dumb real estate guy from Wisconsin.
He's a real estate guy.
But he's a celebrity now.
He's a celebrity.
All right, we got to break because we got Borat coming in. It's the One virus spreading across America.